Hey guys, Archie Luxury on the Archie Luxury channel. And I've been watching a fair bit of Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey lately. Dave Ramsey is an American financial guru. He basically advises people on how to get out of debt and how to achieve life goals. And I really like his ethos there. He says credit cards are evil. He says leasing is a bad mistake. And a lot of what he says is very, very true. It's a little bit different. I'm in Australia. I mean, house prices, you really couldn't possibly save to buy a house. Dave believes in paying cash for a lot of things because the house prices are so crazy here. $500,000 is an average house in Brisbane. But I like a lot of what Dave says. And one of the points Dave says is he talks about, did you take on too much car? Do you have too much car? And what he's talking about is the value of your car too much compared to your net worth as an individual? And it's a very interesting thing because I think if we look at the watch community, the wristwatch community, we look at how much somebody is worth. Net worth means assets minus liabilities. And how much have they got tied up in wristwatches? And it's a very, very interesting thing. Getting too much wristwatch too quick can be a really bad thing. And I gotta tell you, you know, that's my world time there, my Patek world time. I've got a lot of money tied up in wristwatches myself there. I'm basically broke. I mean, let's be completely frank there. I'm living in a house that belongs to my ex-wife on a 5-year lease deal. Well, 3-year lease deal. It expires in 2020, okay? 2020. So it's 2 and a bit years. I got very little savings, very little investments, and I got a lot of money in watches. Well, relative to my net worth, I do. So putting too much money into wristwatches, the danger is that you as an individual can very, very quickly, you want to have these things. You want to have a sense of achievement, a sense of accomplishment. So we want to have the big heavy hitters like a Patek or, you know, a new Rolex, whatever. But we don't quite have the cash bickies. We don't have the bickies to pay for it. And this can be a bit of a problem. We want to achieve our goals relatively quickly. We're moving forward. So what we tend to do is we can perhaps use a bit of financial lubricant, a credit card. We can take money out of other things. And that's where it becomes a bit of a problem, because what happens is we love our watches. Us menfolk, we love our watches. So what we do is we do stupid things to build a big collection as soon as we can. We've often borrowed money at high interest rates, and then we come back and say, shit, we shouldn't have done that, and we sell them off, often at a slight loss, which is a really dumb thing to happen. I mean, sometimes getting too much watch too quick can be a really bad thing. So it's something I wanted to talk about with the audience. What do you think? Getting too much wristwatch. Do you have too much wristwatch for yourself there? And that's a really good question. I had a good friend of mine, Scotty, you know, I've done a few reviews with him. He's got the GMT Batman, but he's saving to get a house. So he's got a bit of a house deposit, but he's yearning to add to this collection. And maybe that's not the best thing for him. Maybe it's a good idea to keep the GMT Batman, but don't look at adding another piece. He wants to add a Zenith chronograph, an El Primo with the 3 different colored dials there. Just Absolutely beautiful piece. It's a Zenith, you know. Zenith is... Rolex used to use Zenith movement. So it's great watch for the enthusiast to have there. But has he got too much watch too soon? And this is the whole thing. Having too much watch, I gotta tell you the truth. In my own case there, I can see some really big flaws. I remember when I exploded the collection. Remember I exploded, I had $82,000 worth of luxury. Well, I had $82,000 worth of consumer credit. I had 2 Pateks, an AP, a Breguet. I had a lot of shit. I had Louis Vuitton up to my over my head. You know, I had a lot of stuff. And then I lost my job, and I was lucky because I sold off stuff and I repaid my debts, got out of those debts, cancelled those cards, and I was lucky to get out. But some people, they don't have a channel like mine. It's hard to sell these things. I mean, everything is worth money, but you've got to find the right punter who's going to pay. You know, some people are just bargain hunters out there. So I kind of myself, I'm terrible with consumer credit. You give me sleazy consumer credit, I absolutely love to buy things. Oh, just the adrenaline, you know, just fulfillment. I feel, you know, it's just like a drug, like gambling or drug addiction. It's just like a drug. I love to have luxury items with me, but it's not always the most sensible thing to do. Do you have too much wristwatch? Do you have too much? When I say too much, I don't mean the numbers. I mean, you could have a like this world time here could have one really, but this is over $20,000 US. You try and buy one of these on Chrono, a Box Papers world time, you could easily spend 22, 23, 24, 25,000 US dollars. Big money. Very big money. So you want to be a little bit, you've got to be a little bit careful there. Careful is the word. You want to be a little bit careful because these are expensive. So in my case, even though you might only have a couple of pieces, if you've got big pieces like that, whew, I know another friend of mine, he actually has a gold sub. So what's that? 20,000 Australian plus, and a 1680 red sub. And you think of, okay, it's only 2 pieces, but he's got a lot of money. I mean, he's got $40,000 plus, because he's then, you know, he added an IWC Aqua Timer, and he's just added an Omega Speedmaster America's Cup, Seamaster America's Cup. So his collection is like 50,000 Aussie. What's that? 40,000 US. And he wants to do a business. He's got ideas, but he doesn't have the seed capital. He's got his seed capital. He's got his priorities all wrong. His priorities are watches, because they make him feel good. And I've often said it, you know, us menfolk, we don't have, our wives are not subservient. No, they tell us what to do. Our workplace, we're no longer full-time, and we've got contract, casual type work there, so we're not a master in our workforce. Our kids have never listened to us. The only control, the only choices we've got in our life is which wristwatch do we choose? That's all we got is our wristwatches. Wristwatch. Which wristwatch do we choose? That's the only choice we've got in our life. And I gotta tell you, do you have too much money in wristwatches? And I gotta say that, yes, I think I am a culprit. I am guilty, Your Honor. I am guilty. I'm guilty. Doesn't mean I want to get, I don't know. But I'm absolutely skint. I'd love to go to Singapore for a couple of days. I'm skint. I don't even have the money for an Uber to the airport. How am I supposed to go to Sing for 4 days? You know, it's absolutely absolutely boring. Boring, Archie, boring. So, I don't quite know what to say there. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say exactly. But this is how it is. This is how it is. So, I gotta be honest with you there. Do you have too much wristwatch? Do you have too much wristwatch too soon? Tell me this. Tell me what you think, guys. Tell me what you think. I'm Archie Luxury. Do you have too much wristwatch?